What's up, y'all? We are in downtown Houston with a few college students from North Carolina. Can y'all please state your names, y'all school, major, and what you might represent otherwise?
Hey y'all, I'm Dayana Newkirk and I go to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I'm a rising senior at UNC and I represent Sister Sis UNC. I also host events with BSM, and then I am a part of the illustrious Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Mariah Allen Jones. I am a rising junior at UNC Chapel Hill. I major in human development and family science. I am the co-president of STEP at UNC. I'm a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I'm a part of the Blue Lightning cheer team.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariah Simmons. I am a rising third-year student at NC State University. My major is middle grades, language arts, and social studies. I am a proud member of the Kappa Omega chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, as I serve as the anti-bacillus.
Beautiful. So we wanted to ask them a few questions as we're going on this coast-to-coast trip, inspiring young voters all across the country. And so the first question I have for all of y'all is, are y'all registered to vote?
Yes.
Yes?
I am.
Yes.
Awesome. And how are y'all feeling about this upcoming election and participating? For some of y'all, it might be your first time voting. So how are you feeling about that with the upcoming election?
For me, the upcoming election is very essential because as an educator, I feel like it does us a disservice to not be an advocate for voting, as we are being an advocate for the future generation. So the vote that is coming today or this year not only impacts us today, but it also impacts the future of our children as well. So, yeah.
For me, as a present educator right now, also a future healthcare worker, I think it's essential for us Black Americans to vote because there are laws and policies being enacted that not only affect us but also women and young people in general. So this is going to be very important for us to actually put our foot in our votes and make it count this year.
So what is making y'all feel encouraged to vote in this next election? Do y'all feel like there's certain news cycles or certain things that you're seeing on social media that's making you feel like you really want to go to the polls?
For me, like I said, as a future healthcare worker, I definitely think there was a law enacted that definitely affected me as a woman that made me want to actually step into the voting booth, you know, get active, advocate for women's health. So that really hit home for me. Also, just policies and laws that don't align with making a just Black America for Black people. So yeah, that's my motivation.
There was people that fought for this, for us to be able to vote. So as this being my first year voting, it's just like a bigger motivator, as you know, like people fought for us to vote. So just to go out there and to be able to advocate for ourselves free willingly, and not only impact ourselves but like the students as well. That's a big motivator, and so yeah.
And so one last question, the target demographic of our whole project is 18 to 25-year-olds all across the country, young voters. And so with all of us being within that demographic, I'm curious, how do you guys feel, you know, America is doing as far as encouraging these people to vote, and specifically North Carolina and maybe our respective schools?
I will say, as far as UNC Chapel Hill, I do see a lot of orgs getting on campus and trying to get the younger demographic to vote, but I don't think that there is enough, you know, advocating for us to actually get in the booth. It's so simple to hand out a voter registration form, but it's not as easy to get young voters in the booth because it's not like something that they're actually might be interested in. So I think that there needs to be a further push to actually grasp the young community to get them in the booth.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. At NC State, there are a lot of organizations that are striving towards the impact of allowing students to vote and encouraging students to vote. But I do think there are outlets like social media that influence people to not want to vote or think that their vote doesn't matter. But our vote does matter as Black people and as Black students and as Black people at PWIs especially. Like, we need to get out there and vote just as bad as the people at HBCUs. Like, we need to get out there and be an advocate for ourselves. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we thank you guys so much for your time, and I'll leave with one last kind of fun question. So we're all in Houston, some of us for a shorter time than others, but so far, what has been your favorite part about Houston, whether it's a restaurant, an attraction, or things you might have done? What's your favorite part so far?
I think the people is fun, and definitely the food. I'm a big eater, so yeah.
I definitely will say I ate some very good food today, so I'm actually happy about that. But also just my job, like my kids make it all worth being here, so I'm happy to be in a classroom with them every day.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with them both. The food, Frenchie's, that has been very good. And also the students here, they have made a big impact on me. And I think they'll continue to make an impact on me throughout the summer. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. What's going on, y'all? We are at the University of Arizona in Tucson with a few students here. Can y'all state your names and your year here at University of Arizona?
Josh, I'm a freshman.
Annalisa, I'm a freshman.
Isaac, and I'm also a freshman.
Kaylee, I'm also a freshman.
Awesome. So y'all are rising freshmen, which means you're probably around 18 years old. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So with this upcoming election, that will be your first time voting. Are y'all registered to vote?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All 4 yeses. That's amazing. So how are y'all feeling about the upcoming election and it being your first time voting? What are like some of the pressures you feel? What have you seen on social media encouraging you or maybe discouraging you to vote? How are you feeling about all of that?
I feel like the biggest pressure is probably parents because you don't really get your own opinion because your parents kind of like make you vote for who they want.
I think right now there's like a lot of controversial on who you should vote for, and like with like a lot of social media that has like a big impact on who and what you want to do with your vote.
I agree with both of them in a ways. But of course, when the election does come, I'll do more research on who.
I'd have to agree that definitely your family and like where you come from, like us being out of state, it definitely affects that.
That's good. And so do y'all think social media has been, I guess, productive or counterproductive in helping y'all make decisions and I guess be informed on the voting processes and candidates and everything? Do y'all think social media helps or kind of hurts with that process?
Honestly, I feel like social media made it so much worse because like it's so much lies that you can't really, debunk, and you don't know what's true because anything get put out there nowadays, so it kind of ruined it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Voting is something that's controversial, like politics and all that. It's like when it goes on social media, it's like everyone has a different view of everything, so it's definitely a controversial topic.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. You could find bad information and good information. You just gotta find good resources.
Right.
Bumped into me. I do have to agree definitely that it can have both good information and misinformation, but it definitely depends on your sources and what you're looking at and what you're trying to find.
All right, for sure, yeah. All of that was great, and we appreciate y'all input. I'm going to end it off with my favorite question that I ask everybody to end it off. What's your favorite quote, and what does it mean to you?
Can I go last?
Yeah.
I don't have a quote, but I would just say, like, work hard and just do you,
Sure.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself. I feel like if you're not true to yourself, then you're not true to anybody else around you.
Greatness isn't made overnight. Kyrie Irving.
It's from a book. It's called Looking for Alaska, and it's How Will We Ever Escape This Labyrinth of Suffering?
What does that mean to you?
To me, it's life, and how will we get around it and not bring others further deeper into the puzzle that is trying to figure it out.
All right, for sure. Hey, y'all heard it here. Thank y'all. What's up, everyone? I'm here with my good friend Michael. We're also with Chandler as well. Excited to talk a little bit more about voting in the 18 to 25-year-old demographic. Curious, what are some of your thoughts on voting the 2024 election cycle and things of that nature?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I'm out here doing kind of the same thing. I do voter registration. The feeling I kind of get talking to people is that a lot of young people feel like their vote doesn't matter. I get a lot of people saying like, I don't know if I even want to register. Like, my vote doesn't matter. What's the point? I'm not informed on issues. And what I kind of always say to people is there are a lot of people counting on you to not vote, to not get your vote out there. You know what I mean? As a young person, it may feel hard to kind of live in this world where it feels like everything's set up against you. But that's why your vote is so important, because there are people that are in power right now, people a lot older than you who have not lived the lives that you have, faced the challenges that you have, who are trying to decide your futures for you, right? So you may not be super involved in voting right now. Maybe you're not sure what to vote for, who to vote for. But when you register to vote, you have the option to get your ballot sent to you and get your vote out there and have your voice heard. And what I like to say is voting is a way to kind of take ownership over your future. You know, right now maybe our life can feel like it's in other people's hands, but that's why voting's so important. You know, it's an opportunity to get your voice out there and take your future back for you. So that's kind of the feeling I have about voting. I'm definitely going to be out there in November, so I think you should too.
And how long have you been registered to vote, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm currently 22, so I believe, just like many people who I talk to every day on this campus, I registered when I was 18 on my college campus, so about 4 years.
Was voting a thing that was a part of your family dynamics? Hey, we need to vote, or how did you sort of get into this importance of voting in America?
I think it wasn't necessarily something that I grew up always thinking about. It was more so when I turned 18 and I was on my college campus, like surrounded by a lot of people who thought it was important. They kind of like got the word out to me, and obviously when I was first voting, it was around 2020, so obviously the issues were all around us, so that's kind of what got me into it personally.
And branching off, thinking about the 2024 election cycle, individuals say both candidates, or all the candidates involved are slim pickings. We've heard it like that, or they're just bad, they're old, they can't help us. Why am I going to waste my time going to the polls for candidates that are not good altogether? What do you say to that?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe you may not be super happy with the two candidates that are most likely to be running for office in November, but what I would say is there's not just the presidential election. There's local and state elections, there's the midterms. At least here in Arizona, we have the primaries coming up. There's ballot measures and things like that. So feel free to vote in the presidential. I definitely will be, but if you really don't want to, you can still make your voice heard on the more local level, you know, on all those things I mentioned. So, you know, it's not just the presidential election. There's so many other things that matter that you can get involved in, that you can vote for. That's what I would say.
And I have one more so serious question than anything else, maybe not. Curious, what is the thing that you think about that gets you most passionate or most excited about the work around voter registration and sort of promoting a better democracy?
I just think there's so many people who are out suffering every day, you know what I mean? People who have been like less fortunate, or even people that have worked so hard to create a good life for them, but it feels like things are working against you, you know. Rent is so high in the United States, you know what I mean? Yeah. So just the fact that so many people are struggling, and I know things can be better, that's why I personally think voting is so important, and why I work to do what I do as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
For sure, appreciate it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Ashton Hutchinson, and we're out at the University of Arizona, and I'm here with
Antonio and Croydon.
And we're about to ask them a couple of questions about the importance of voting and try to get their perspective on it today. First question, are y'all registered to vote?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, I'm not.
Not yet? What's holding you back from getting registered?
At least for me, it's just like I feel like I just need somebody there with me to like help me go through it a little bit, because, you know, first time.
For me, I don't really feel like I have the knowledge to really like apply myself to vote. I haven't done a lot of research, so I don't really know like what it is I should be voting for and like how to go about it. So
okay.
Yeah.
And I'll say to that, I think I registered when I was 18. I think the first step is just going and getting registered. That's not too difficult. You can do it online these days. But I understand your concerns, like having someone with you to help guide you. And so I think your university will have a lot of resources that can be helpful and beneficial for doing that. But then as far as what you said about not knowing like the candidates and everything, the policies, one thing we've learned and heard a lot on our trip is you really just got to do your research. Because it starts all the way at the municipal level with like mayors and stuff, and then going all the way to the president, of course, and everything in between. So, you know, taking a little bit of time to research it, and not going based off of just like a party or anything, but seeing what the candidate will actually do, I think that's really, really helpful for that. But one question I have for you is voting something that was kind of encouraged in your families and households and kind of communities growing up? I know you're both from Arizona.
For me, not so much. My parents didn't really like talking about politics. It was kind of like shunned away, and it was not very something that was very vocalized. So.
Yeah, I think for me it's sort of like a taboo topic. Like my parents wouldn't even talk to each other about it because they're like very private with what they were voting for.
So do you think, I'm assuming you guys are on social media, can I make that assumption? is that somewhere where you think you're getting misinformation, good information? Is it encouraging you to go out and vote, or is it kind of discouraging and kind of overwhelming and bringing a lot of pressure?
I think there's both sides to it. I think I'm getting a lot of misinformation because I have like seen something and I'm like, that looks sketchy. I don't think that's something that's credible. But then there are times where I see something that I feel like is credible and I'll search it up and I'll do my research just to make sure if it is. And so yeah, I'd say social media it's kind of diverse in what you get.
Yeah, there are pages that pop up and you could tell they're like very liberal focused, or you could tell they're very conservative focused, and they're trying to sway you like one way or another. So I'm really like, especially when I'm looking at that stuff, I make sure to think to myself that I'm making my own opinion and not like letting myself get swayed by these like that are really left leaning, right leaning sides.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I can ask one more kind of fun question, but you being from Tucson, you from Phoenix, what is your favorite part about living and growing up in Arizona? And how are you feeling about the next 4 years being at the University of Arizona?
I was gonna say there's like every crowd is eclectic. Like there's a plethora of cultures, like tons of like different types of food. Like there's just diverse culture, and I really appreciate that here. And that's what I'm looking forward to, just meeting a bunch of people. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, personally, I'm just excited for the new experiences. Like coming here, I came like for the summer a little early, and I found some good friends, and they definitely like helped out with things. And we're just like going out to restaurants, trying new things, exploring the campus, and I really think it's the experiences that's gonna make the next 4 years hella fun.
Last question: what's your biggest piece of advice for like a high schooler that's trying to get to where you are today?
Stay true to your goals, man. If you have a goal, like, don't set yourself short. You just have to follow through. And I know times get hard, but that difficult and hard times are like what's really gonna set you apart from everyone else. So like, just stay true to yourself and keep working at it for real. Yeah.
Sure. That's real.
I think big thing for me is just to have confidence in yourself, because if you're not gonna have confidence in yourself, no one else is gonna do it for you. So make sure when you have confidence in yourself, that's when you're gonna go out and get things done.
All right, for sure. Hey, we appreciate y'all and hope y'all have a great year. Yep. There we go. We are here on the campus of the University of Arizona. We're here with...
My name's Brooke.
Brooke, good to meet you, Brooke. Thank you for being with us a little bit. We're just curious as to, one, we want to start with the conversation on voting and civic engagement. Curious as to what are the first things that come to mind when you think about voting in America?
That it's a little, it's not very true
to
most people's votes.
What do you mean by that? Can you go into that more a little bit?
I don't want to get hated on. But in my opinion, when I see voting, it's always super, super close, and then the electoral votes kind of take over. So that's where the idea comes into my head, where it's like, doesn't matter.
Do you feel, I get that, do you feel the need to consistently vote? Have you missed a vote when someone says go vote, your voice matters?
I believe it more state level it matters for sure. But when it comes to state, the whole United States, I'm like, I don't feel like my vote matters as much.
Okay. Do you feel like your peers feel the same way?
I would say that, yes.
So when you see someone like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden saying, hey, get out the vote, we need you this year, or we need 18 to 25-year-olds to show up because that's what swings the election, how do you feel? Does it feel like you're being taken advantage of, or does it feel like this is just because you're just trying to get back in office, it's just a power grab, or do you feel they really care about what we want in our age demographic?
I feel like this is super. I could totally get blasted for this.
No, you're good. Be real, be honest. Yeah.
I would definitely say it's more for them just trying to get back into office, but also they're doing it for the party in which they want to represent, which is awesome. But I feel like as a person, you never should be coerced into doing something that you believe in. So obviously, as long as they're doing it to better the people, then I can't have any negativity to say.
Well, time for one quick fun question. Of course, you're at the University of Arizona. What's one of your favorite things about the university?
At U of A?
Yeah. And why did you choose U of A as well?
Yeah.
I was supposed to come play a sport here that blew out my knee, so I decided to...
What sport? And I'm sorry to hear that, by the way.
Oh, it's okay. I did volleyball and track. There was a few
things. Okay.
And then I just love their nursing program, and they're really community-based. That's my favorite thing. is they're just like really big on like, it's more familiar here, you see more familiar faces, and they're like, it's different versus ASU.
Are you from Arizona?
I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal.
So-
Where in Arizona are you from?
Small town, Gila Valley. I'm just gonna say that. Just in case I don't get like tracked and murked in here. But
No, that's not gonna
gotta be
happen.
a little-
That's not gonna happen at all. Well, that's all I think we have. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate you being with us. Good to meet you as well. Thank you.